Hey there, dream explorers. Welcome back to the deep dive. Have you ever woken up from a dream feeling like it was more than just a random jumble of images, like it held a hidden message? Maybe even a glimpse into the future. Today we're diving into the world of premonitory dreams.
Ah, yes.
Those dreams that seem to predict the future.
It's a topic that's fascinated people for centuries. And even with all our scientific advancements, it still holds a certain mystique.
Absolutely. And to guide us through this mysterious landscape, we're using Conrad Riker's book,
Okay.
Unlocking Your Subconscious.
Yeah.
Crack the Code of Premonitory Dreams.
It's catchy title.
It is. He takes a really balanced approach, blending scientific insights with some truly compelling personal stories.
What I appreciate about Riker's approach is that he acknowledges the skepticism surrounding premonitory dreams right from the start. He calls himself a rational and scientific individual, but he's also open to exploring the possibility that there's something more to these dreams than just coincidence.
He doesn't shy away from the science, but he also presents the anecdotal evidence in a way that makes you think, maybe there's something to this.
Yeah.
So before we get too deep, let's define what we're talking about. What exactly are premonitory dreams?
In the simplest terms, they're dreams that seem to contain information about future events.
Okay.
They often have a vivid, almost hyper-real quality to them, and they leave the dreamer with a strong feeling that what they experienced in the dream is going to happen in their waking.
So vividness and that feeling of this is going to happen are key elements.
Right.
Riker shares a great story in the book about a software engineer named John Lipp. John had this incredibly vivid dream about meeting a specific person at a networking event. And the dream, this person offered him his dream job.
Interesting. And what's fascinating is that John actually acted on this dream. He went to a networking event specifically hoping to find this person. Guess what? He did. And he ended up landing that incredible job.
Talk about a dream come true. It makes you wonder, are these dreams tapping into some kind of hidden knowledge? Is our subconscious mind somehow accessing information about the future?
Well, if we look at it from a scientific perspective, premonitory dreams could be linked to the way our brains process information during sleep.
Okay, let's break down the science a bit. We all know we go through different stages of sleep, like REM and non-REM. What's happening in our brains during these stages?
Well, REM sleep is when we tend to have the most vivid dreams. During this stage, the brain is incredibly active, releasing hormones like dopamine and serotonin and processing emotions and memories from the day.
So it's like our brain is working overtime, sorting through all the input from our waking lives. Could it be that during this process, our subconscious picks up on subtle cues or patterns that our conscious mind might miss and then weaves them into our dream?
That's one theory. It's possible that our subconscious mind is more sensitive to certain types of information, especially emotional information. So if there's a potential opportunity or challenge on the horizon, our subconscious might pick up on it before our conscious mind does, and then communicate it through our dream.
Maybe it's not so much about literally seeing the future, but about our subconscious recognizing patterns and presenting them to us in a way that feels like premonition.
Exactly. It's like our subconscious is giving us a heads up, but in the symbolic language of dream. And to understand that language, we need to delve into dream interpretation, which Riker explores in detail in the book.
Right. He talks about dream dictionaries and those classic symbolic interpretations, like a car representing your journey through life, or a house symbolizing your sense of self.
Precisely. But he also stresses that dream interpretation is a deeply personal journey. There's no one-size-fits-all method. It's about exploring different techniques and finding what resonates with you.
Which brings up another fascinating aspect, the role of culture and personal beliefs in how we interpret dreams,
Yeah.
especially those that seem premonitory. Riker gives examples of how indigenous cultures often view dreams as communication with spirits or ancestors, while some Asian cultures see them as windows into future events or spiritual journeys.
It's incredible how these cultural beliefs shape our understanding and acceptance of premonitory dreams.
Yeah.
In some cultures, they're taken very seriously as guides for decision-making.
It's like a collective belief system influencing how we perceive these dreams.
Uh-huh.
So we've talked about the science, the personal experiences, and the cultural lens. But is there anything WE can do to tap into this potential? Can we actively try to have premonitory dreams, or at least remember them better?
Riker offers some practical tips.
Okay.
Keeping a dream journal is a classic technique. Establishing a consistent sleep schedule and minimizing exposure to screens before bed can also improve dream recall in general.
So creating an environment conducive to good sleep and vivid dreaming is key. And what about lucid dreaming, where you're aware that you're dreaming while you're in the dream? Could that play a role?
Lucid dreaming is a fascinating concept. Riker mentions it as a potential tool for not only remembering dreams, but also potentially influencing dream content.
Oh, wow.
Imagine being able to ask your subconscious questions within a dream, or even explore different scenarios.
That's incredible.
It's a tantalizing idea and one that's gaining more attention in the scientific community. There's research suggesting that with practice, people can learn to become more aware during their dreams and even exert some control over the dream environment.
That's wild. But for now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some famous examples of premonitory dreams. I mean, who hasn't heard the story about Abraham Lincoln dreaming of his own assassination, or the inventor Elias Howe, who supposedly got the idea for the sewing machine from a dream?
Those stories are captivating, aren't they? And Riker uses them to illustrate that reports of premonitory dreams have been around for centuries, across cultures and time periods. It makes you wonder if there's a universal aspect to this phenomenon.
It definitely adds to the mystery. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
The impact of our physical and mental state on our dream.
Right.
Riker seems to be a big advocate for a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. He emphasizes that factors like diet, exercise, and even alcohol consumption can significantly impact our sleep quality and, by extension, the vividness and frequency of our dreams.
Makes sense. If we're not taking care of ourselves, our sleep suffers and our dreams probably suffer too.
Yeah.
But I never really thought about it in terms of potentially affecting premonitory dreams.
Well, Riker suggests that regular exercise might actually increase the likelihood of having vivid dreams, including those that feel precognitive.
Interesting.
He doesn't go into the scientific details, but it's an interesting point to consider.
So maybe hitting the gym is the key to unlocking my psychic potential. I'm kidding, sort of. But speaking of unlocking potential, let's talk about dream interpretation. Riker dives deep into this, doesn't he?
He does. He covers various techniques like associative analysis, where you connect emotions to specific dream elements, content analysis, where you isolate and analyze specific elements, and symbolic interpretation using those classic dream dictionaries.
So many options.
Yeah.
It's like he's giving us a toolkit for decoding the messages hidden in our dream. But he also emphasizes that there's no one right way to interpret dreams.
Exact. Dream interpretation is highly personal. What might symbolize danger for one person could represent excitement for another. It's about understanding your unique dream language.
And finding the techniques that work best for you. Riker even suggests exploring practices like guided imagery hypnosis or meditation to deepen your understanding of your dreams.
Those practices can definitely help you tap into your subconscious mind and become more attuned to the subtle messages your dreams might be conveying.
Okay, so we have some tools for understanding our dreams. But let's get back to the science for a moment. Has there been any research specifically on the neurophysiology of premonitory dreams?
Well, Riker touches on some of the research being done on the neuroscience of dreaming in general. He talks about how technologies like EEG and fMRI are being used to study brain activity during sleep, especially during REM sleep when vivid dreams occur.
So cool. It's amazing that we can actually measure what's happening in the brain while we dream. So have scientists found any concrete evidence to support the idea of premonitory dreams?
The research is still ongoing, and there are diverse viewpoints within the scientific community. Riker presents a balanced perspective, acknowledging that while there are fascinating studies and intriguing findings, there isn't yet a definitive explanation for why some people might have these dreams.
Okay, so the jury's still out. I was particularly struck by the story Riker shares about a woman from California who dreamed about a specific plane crash years before it actually happened. Her level of detail was chillingly accurate.
That story definitely sends shivers down your spine. But Riker also cautions against jumping to conclusions. He reminds us about the brain's natural tendency to recognize patterns and make connections even when they might not be there. It's called confirmation bias.
Right. We might be more likely to remember the dreams that seem to come true while forgetting the ones that don't. It's like we're selectively filtering our memories to support our beliefs.
Exactly. It's a natural human tendency to look for evidence that confirms what we already believe. But Riker emphasizes the importance of critical thinking, especially when dealing with something as subjective as dreams.
Makes sense. It's about finding that balance between being open to the possibility of premonitory dreams and maintaining a healthy skepticism. We need to avoid letting our desire for the extraordinary cloud our judgment.
Absolutely. It's a delicate balance. And speaking of balance, let's talk about the potential therapeutic benefits of premonitory dreams. Riker touches on this towards the end of the book, doesn't he?
He does. He suggests that even if these dreams aren't always accurate predictions, they can still offer valuable insights into our subconscious fears, desires, and anxiety.
It's like our dreams are giving us a glimpse into the inner workings of our minds. By paying attention to the messages, even the ones that seem strange or unsettling, we can potentially gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and promote personal growth.
That's a powerful concept.
Yeah.
Analyzing these dreams, whether or not they actually predict the future, can be a form of self-discovery. But we've only just scratched the surface of this topic. There's so much more to explore.
Indeed. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll delve into even more mind-boggling aspects of premonitory dreams, including the intriguing phenomenon of shared dreaming and the role of technology in dream research.
Oh, wow, I can't wait. Stay tuned, Dream Explorers. We're about to go even deeper into the mysterious world of premonitory dreams. Welcome back, Dream Explorers. We're in the final stretch of our deep dive into the world of premonitory dreams. We've covered a lot of ground, but I'm particularly intrigued by the concept of shared dreaming, which Riker touches upon in his book.
Okay.
Is it really possible for two people to share the same dream?
It might sound like science fiction, but there's growing anecdotal evidence and even some preliminary scientific research suggesting that it's a real phenomenon.
So you're telling me two people could potentially be dreaming the same thing at the same time? How could that even work?
Well, the exact mechanisms are still being studied, but one theory involves neural synchrony. You know how some couples seem to be completely in sync, finishing each other's sentences, almost reading each other's mind?
Yeah, like they're on the same wavelength.
Exactly. Their brainwave patterns might actually be syncing up, especially if they're emotionally close and spend a lot of time together. Some researchers believe this synchrony could extend to dream states, leading to shared dream experiences.
That's fascinating. And Riker mentions a study where researchers observed couples who claimed to have shared dreams. The couples who reported having simultaneous dreams were often more emotionally bonded.
Right, so it makes you wonder if shared dreaming might actually strengthen those bonds, creating an even deeper level of empathy and understanding.
It's like their subconscious minds are communicating during sleep. I wonder if it's possible to intentionally induce a shared dream. Could you and I decide to dream the same thing tonight?
That's a great question. While Riker doesn't delve into specific techniques for inducing shared dreams, he does suggest that practices like maintaining a healthy sleep schedule, creating a shared sleep environment, maybe even sleeping in the same room and discussing dream content with each other could potentially increase the likelihood.
It's definitely worth experimenting with. Imagine waking up and comparing notes on a dream you both had. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about technology. Riker also discusses the role of technology in dream research, which has advanced significantly in recent years. He talks about brain-computer interfaces and biofeedback systems being used to study dream patterns and potentially even influence dream content.
It's an exciting field. From a scientific perspective, these technologies could revolutionize our understanding of dreaming. Imagine being able to accurately track brain activity during different stages of sleep and correlate it with specific dream content. We could unlock so much about how the subconscious mind operates.
That's mind-blowing. It's like we're on the verge of being able to record and even manipulate our dream. What are the potential therapeutic implications of this? Could it be used to treat conditions like insomnia or nightmare?
Absolutely. Imagine being able to identify and modify negative dream patterns or even induce lucid dreams to help people work through fears and anxiety. The possibilities are truly groundbreaking.
So after this deep dive into premonitory dreams, where do we stand? What are the key takeaways?
I think the main takeaway is that while the science is still evolving, there's compelling evidence suggesting that premonitory dreams are a real phenomenon, one worthy of further exploration. Whether you view them as a glimpse into the future, a message from your subconscious, or simply a fascinating aspect of the human mind, they highlight the power and mystery of our own consciousness.
Absolutely. We've explored the science, the personal stories, the cultural perspectives, and even the potential therapeutic application. And while there are still many unanswered questions, one thing is certain: paying attention to our dreams can lead to incredible insights.
Exactly. Keep a dream journal, explore different interpretation techniques, maybe even try inducing a shared dream with a loved one. You never know what you might discover about yourself and the hidden workings of your mind.
And if you're ready to dive even deeper into the fascinating world of premonitory dreams, be sure to check out Conrad Riker's book, Unlocking Your Subconscious, available on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books. Until next time, Dream Explorers, sweet dreams.